Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday, where we have been going live with you on Facebook and LinkedIn every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about our upcoming 21st Annual International Human Trafficking and Social Justice Conference hosted virtually on September 18th through the 20th. We are exactly 2 weeks away today for the conference. This summer has gone by so fast. So excited for the upcoming conference. My name is Anna Schramm. I am the conference planner working at the University of Toledo's Human Trafficking and Social Justice Institute. And today we have with us the Associate Director of the Institute, Ashley Kucher. So I work alongside Ashley at the Institute, but she has also been helping out with the conference even before I started. So she is a veteran. She knows very well the ins and outs of the conference. So hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Anna. Thanks for having me and that generous introduction.
Well, today is actually our last What's Up Wednesday of the year. As I mentioned, we are exactly 2 weeks away from the conference, and it has been a great couple of months being on here every week, talking about the upcoming conference, all the different types of sessions that you can attend. Remember, we have a variety of topics, a variety of knowledge levels, so anybody can attend no matter what profession they're in, no matter what they know or don't know about human trafficking. We have had a lot of guest speakers on to talk about their experience with our conference. They've talked about what they're going to be presenting on this year. And we've highlighted a number of those sessions that you can attend during that 3-day conference, covered a lot of information. So now today we are answering your questions about the conference and what you can expect in a couple weeks. So Ashley, do you have any questions for me about the conference?
Oh, indeed I do. But let's start off with the most important question right now, which is pressing. How do I register for the conference?
Yes, that is the most important and pressing conference. So our question about the conference. So you can register on our website, which is traffickingconference.com/register. So even though the conference is on September 18th through the 20th, registration closes on Tuesday, September 10th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So we close registration 1 week before the conference just to make sure that we have everybody in our system and can get them in that virtual platform. We do not let anybody in late, so make sure that you are registered by that September 10th deadline. If you have not registered yet and you still need to do it, there's 1 week left. If you are a college student, you do get discounted pricing. So we know that college students don't have a lot of money. So you do get, it's about a 50% or so discount with that discounted pricing. If you are coming with a group of 4 or more individuals, we do have a group discount, which is 15%. So save you a little bit of money there if you're coming with a big group. And then we do provide free registration for survivors of trafficking. And then also for anybody who is living in a developing third world country and is working directly with victims and survivors, because we know that you are all doing great work in other countries. And we also want to provide free registration for survivors because we do this work for them. So those are some of our registration options. But if people do have to pay full price without any of the discounts, that is okay by us. So Ashley, tell everyone where the money from the conference goes after we get it.
Sure. So all of the revenue that we receive from the conference after all expenses are paid, we put right back into either the Institute, and it supports the work and the different projects that we have ongoing at the Institute. You can learn more about those at our website. Or it goes out into the community by way of our local coalition, which is known as REACH, Northwestern Ohio REACH Coalition. So either way, we're supporting the mission, which is always to support the work that we do with survivors and turn them into thrivers, and support our community agencies who do the same work. So it's either here at the Institute working, or it's out in the community working with our local coalition.
Yes. Thank you for explaining that. Because I know sometimes people are like, why do I have to pay for a conference like this? We should get it for free. And, we do have some expenses with it being virtual and, all of that fun tech stuff that we have to pay for. But yeah, at the end of the day, after all bills are paid, the money is going back to the great work that we are doing. So you can rest assured that if you have to pay, we are going to use your money for the great programming that we do as well. So do you have any other questions for me that we've gotten in?
I do. We're going to be here a little minute. So another question is, what if someone cannot attend the live sessions at the conference because of time zone differences or because of other work meetings? Because, we're all pretty busy this day and age.
Yes. Yeah, that is a great question. And because we are virtual, we have the conference hosted in Eastern times. But, people are attending from, Pacific time in the States and, all over the world. So all of our sessions are recorded at the conference and are available for on-demand viewing. So if you have registered for the conference, you have access to all of those sessions for 3 weeks afterwards. So that's until Friday, October 11th. You do have 100 sessions to choose from at the conference. That is a lot of sessions. So you are able to take advantage of all of that content by being able to watch those recordings. So if you've missed out on one, you can go back and watch it. So that does mean if you have meetings throughout the day that you have to attend. I know sometimes we get last minute meeting requests that we have to jump on. You are able to go back and watch those. You do not have to be on Zoom the entire day with us. It's not one continuous webinar, as I know some virtual conferences are, but each specific session has their own specific Zoom link. So you can just hop on when you need to, kind of cater it to around your workday. And then another thing we have, especially for people living in different time zones who our sessions might be happening while it's the middle of the night and they're sleeping. So before the conference, in our virtual platform, you have the ability to ask a question. You might be reviewing the description of that presentation. You're really interested in it and you want to be able to ask a question, but since you won't be there live, you won't be able to ask the presenter that question. So you can submit questions to us beforehand, and then we will give those to the presenter so they can answer them live during that session. And then when you wake up and you're starting your day on the other side of the world, you can go back, watch those recordings, and hear your questions asked. So we want to make it accessible for people, no matter where they are tuning in from the world, to be able to get as much out of the conference. So those are some things that we have for people who are living in different time zones or might have other things going on throughout the day.
Well, what about the continuing education credits that people receive at the conference then? How does that?
Yes. Yeah. Good question. So we are based in Ohio, like I mentioned, in Eastern time. So we are based in Ohio, and we do have a lot of continuing education credits that we get through Ohio boards. We have 9 different disciplines that we offer continuing ed for. 7 of them are approved through Ohio boards. So that's social work, counseling, marriage and family therapy, chemical dependency, Department of Developmental Disabilities, occupational therapy, and law. So like I mentioned, those ones are the ones that we get through the state of Ohio. The 2 national boards that we have approval for are health education and public health. So that doesn't matter where you are in the country. So since we're based in Ohio, we do have to go through those Ohio boards, but I do know that most states will accept continuing education approved by other states. So you may have to check with your board about the process if you have to submit a different form for them, but we will send you a CEU certificate after the conference with our approval number, and that should be good enough for the board. And I see who just joined us on our live call right now. We have Dr. Celia Williamson on with us, who is our fearless leader and a founder of the conference. So Celia, we are 2 weeks away today from the conference, and we are so excited. We've been talking about registration, how you only have 1 week left to register. Ashley's been asking me some questions. We just talked about the CEU process. So unless you have questions for me, Celia, or do you have anything that you want to ask right now?
I can't think of anything, but
okay. Well, Ashley, let's keep plugging away on some of those questions that came in.
I'm very type A. I have several questions along with the ones you already received.
We
So,
need to know everything.
so thanks for covering the CEs. I myself need them. So always a refresher.
Yes.
It's always good. But what if someone doesn't need the continuing education or the CEs, but they do need like a general certificate to show that they were in attendance 1 day, 2 days,
Mhm.
3 days of the conference?
Yeah, that is a good question too, because not everybody has a licensure that they need to get those continuing ed credits for. But we do provide general certificates of attendance. So you can select that option in your conference web app profile. And our conference web app is this virtual platform where all of the information for our conference is stored. So if you select that in there, we will send you a certificate after the conference showing how many hours you attended. And you can either keep that for your own records. I know sometimes other professions need to show that they have, received education about human trafficking, or employers want to know you requested these days off of work and let me know that you actually attended the conference. So then you are able to give that to your employer. So we do have that option as well.
Excellent. Okay. Well, another big part of our conference, in addition to the 100 presentations you just reminded everyone of that they can register for,
Yes.
that even though we're in a virtual setting and have been for a couple of years, we still have vendor booths and we have a ton of them. So what kind of vendors can people expect at this year's conference?
Yes. Yeah. Good question. We have retail and resource vendors. So even in that virtual conference space, vendors are still a really big part of our conference because a lot of them are doing the work in the field and sharing great information or selling products. So our resource vendors are typically direct service agencies that are sharing information about their programming or services that they provide. So this is really good information if you are working directly with clients who have experienced trauma or abuse of any kind, not just trafficking. So you can learn about some of those resources that are out there. So those are great vendors to check out. And then we do have some retail vendors who, as the name suggests, are selling products that benefit vulnerable populations. So whether that be they're selling products that survivors have made in different programming and all of the money goes back to survivors, or some people even sell their books and then a portion of the proceeds that they get from those sales go back to anti-trafficking causes. So these are great organizations. I've already checked out some of them this year as I've seen those applications come through. There's some really great ones to check out. It's also a good time to do some early Christmas shopping. Some of those great organizations, not only are they great products, but then you also know that your money is going to a good cause. And then outside of those 20 plus, I think we have over 20 vendors this year. Outside of those, we do have several virtual art exhibits. We have highlighted art at our conference, I believe, for at least 10, if not over 10 years now, because there is a really big connection between the arts and the social justice movement. I think it's a great way to be able to express injustices in the world without, having to find the correct words for it. Because sometimes we don't have the correct words to be able to describe our experiences or what is going on. And art has also been used as a healing mechanism for people who have experienced trauma. And again, if they don't have the words to be able to share those experiences, they're able to use art as a way to talk about that. So we do believe in the importance of art. We're not just here to be academics and learn and hear from people, but also experience things in other ways of knowing. So we have several art exhibits. We have a Thriver art exhibit, mental health exhibit, youth exhibit, arts-based research exhibit, and a couple virtual performances. So you'll definitely want to make sure to check those out. Again, we want to provide different opportunities at this conference that is not just sitting in sessions, sitting in front of your computer all day listening. So you can explore the vendors, you can explore the art exhibits, and we also have other things that you can do within the conference web app. It's kind of fun. We try to make it as user-friendly and interactive as possible. But well, Celia, now after kind of talking about that, are there any other questions that you want to ask, or maybe something that you are looking forward to with the conference coming up in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I definitely am going to do some shopping for Christmas because
Yes.
it's a great way to get the cause out there and to educate people and give them really meaningful gifts. So I love that idea. And then did we talk about the networking room and the
Oh,
giveaways and stuff like that, because those are the things that are really can be fun after have an hour of learning or a few hours of learning.
yes, yeah. Like I mentioned, we try to keep it fun and entertaining, and there's so many things that we're doing. I forget some of them. So yeah, we do have networking opportunities. So most of the sessions that you can attend are just webinars. So you're listening to the presenters, but we want to provide our attendees a way to connect with each other, talk about maybe the specific professions that people share in common or specific experiences, like our survivor networking session. So then you're able to get on a Zoom meeting and be face to face with people, turn your camera on, turn your mic on, talk to people about maybe things that are working for you in your communities so people can learn, or if you have questions and you can see what other people are doing on their end of the country or in their part of the world. So those are great. I love those. So really take advantage of those. Sometimes people forget about them because they like to take a break during the middle of the day, or we don't offer continuing education for those networking opportunities. But to me, I feel like that's a lot where, work is done, connections are made, and things can happen after the conference of what you've learned, or email addresses you've exchanged in those networking times. So I really suggest that people attend those. And then Celia, you mentioned the giveaway prizes, so we do those as well. We have a couple times where during the conference where we all get on the same Zoom meeting together, and I talk about some of those prizes. A lot of them are given donated from those vendors that I mentioned, so you have an opportunity to win those. We give away free tickets to next year's conference. Celia gives away her book that she's written. So really some great opportunities there.
And we're not even allowed to submit our names into the giveaway because some of them are so cool. Like I want to, but I could just buy it, I guess. But some of the gifts are so cool. So it's kind of like keeps you very excited, and you're learning a lot, and then getting in the networking room. I mean, those are your people in the networking room that you can talk to and ask questions and find out what people are doing in other states or around the world. So that's also exciting. The giveaways are very cool. It's just a great way, again, to be with your tribe, to be with your people that are doing this work can be so like disconnecting and isolating at times. And sometimes people don't understand you. And it's, why are you just toiling away doing this? And so being able to interact, with your people for a few days is just inspiring, uplifting. It gives you a motivation to continue to do this great work. So,
agreed. Well, I shared a little bit about what my favorite things are at the conference. Celia, I feel like you just mentioned yours. Ashley, do you have anything to add? Because you've been doing this longer than I have, or coming to conferences before my time. So what are some of the things that you're most looking forward to at this year's conference?
I can go either way, honestly. I like the sessions. I like to learn and keep my brain busy and knowledgeable. And I like then too, also when I can, because sometimes I moderate or sit in on the networking rooms. But when I can, I do like to go to the networking rooms. It's kind of like if you joined us, if you're like an OG and joined us back in the day when we had it in person, it was like like, all right, I gotta like talk about the session I just went to, or it's like a good like reprieve from all of the knowledge that you've been learning for the last couple hours. I mean, until lunch. So I could go either way. Also like to shop, so you will find me in the vendor area. So I mean, there's not much about the conference I don't like outside of the work aspect of it. But really, that's yours now, Anna. So thank you. But I just love it. I look forward to it every year.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for your work on the conference, your work all year long. Thank you for joining me on here today. It is our last What's Up Wednesday. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. We are 2 weeks away from the conference, but only 1 week away from registration closing. So I do not let in anybody late to registration. So you do want to make sure. I will not. So make sure that you register now. If you have any questions about registration, if you're having any issues, let's figure that out now before we get to next week and that link is no longer active. So go to our website, which is traffickingconference.com. We do have our full schedule up there. You can go through, read through all of the sessions, find the ones you want to attend live, maybe store some away, the recordings you want to watch later. So it's going to be a great conference. We've talked about so many things and I'm just really excited. It's all starting to come together. You know, it has been a lot of work throughout the summer, but now as we're, seeing the finish line up there, I'd love to see it all come together, all of the presentations, all of the vendors, the great information that we are going to have. So make sure you join us for our 21st annual conference on September 18th through the 20th. Thank you, Ashley and Celia, for joining me for our last What's Up Wednesday. And we hope everyone has a great rest of their day, but we will see you in 2 weeks for the conference.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.